Hi guys. So I'm so sorry that it's been so long since my last video, but my last camera that I had made it so hard to film myself, so I tried to avoid it at all costs because the autofocus was terrible and I didn't have a screen that would flip around, so I would record myself talking for 5 minutes and then I'd watch and it'd all be out of focus and I'd have to restart, and it was just a never-ending process and I just couldn't do it. So now that I have this new camera, it's gonna be so much better and I have no excuse to push off any more YouTube videos. So since I've been talking about doing a fitness tips video, I'm gonna start talking about those, just go into my 4 biggest fitness tips and just give you a little more detail. I have put these on my Instagram, but I did want to just go more in depth with them just so that you have a little more of an idea of kind of what's helped me the most in my fitness journey. Number 1 is definitely going to be diet, and that is like the biggest key for sure. This girl's next to me looking at me. Diet is the most important. It's number 1 for sure, because you cannot out-train a bad diet. You can go and run 10 miles, but if you're not eating correctly, if you go home after that and eat a whole pizza or whatever, like that is not gonna do you any good. So you definitely want to be figuring out what works best for you and your body. And for me personally, the approach that I like to take is counting macros. So you wanna figure out your TDEE, which is how many calories your body is burning on a given day, including any type of activity that you're having. So once you find that number that you're burning on a daily basis, then you want to drop that by about 20% to find a good range of calories for you if you are trying to lose weight. And then obviously you find a different number if you're trying to bulk and trying to put on more muscle and more weight. And then you can also, there's a maintenance level that you can go towards as well if that's what you're looking to do, is just maintain your current weight. But most people, if you're looking to figure out a diet, typically you're trying to lose weight. So usually you want to cut those calories a little bit, but if you do it too much, it's going to cause you to still not get those results that you're looking for. And that's what I found with most of my clients, is most of them are typically under eating, and that's why they aren't seeing the results that they want. So a lot of times I have to work my clients back up to more of like a maintenance level calories and then slowly bring them back down, which is a reverse diet. I'm not going to get too much in detail into that, but a lot of people don't agree with counting macros and being super strict with their consumption because they say it's bad for their mental health and all these different things, which I totally get. A lot of people can get very in their heads about it. Even I do it sometimes, but I think it's important to still get to that point where you are comfortable with counting macros and doing that for an extended period of time, because that's really going to help you learn more about the foods that you're eating and the foods that you should continue to eat once you aren't counting those macros. So basically for me, what happened was I started counting macros. I had never done it before. I just jumped right into it, figured out my numbers, how much protein, carbs, and fats I needed to be eating, and then I just went for it, and I saw the best results that I ever had, because really narrowing down those macros and making sure you're getting the right amount of protein each day and also getting a good source of carbs and fats is really going to help your body get that composition that you're really looking for, where you do have that lean muscle, but you're also losing that fat surrounding it. So definitely counting macros and getting a better feel for like what foods you should be consuming, that is really gonna go a long way. So I definitely recommend counting macros. You can find a TDEE calculator on the internet, and then you typically wanna do about, I think when I was cutting, I was doing about 40% protein, 40% carbs, and 20% fat. And I saw really great results with that. So definitely try that out. And if you need help finding those numbers or finding your TDEE, if you want to message me on Instagram, I can try and help you with that. So then, the other thing I wanted to say about that was, I don't think counting macros is something that needs to be done long term. I think the best approach with that is to count your macros for maybe a couple months or until you really start seeing those results that you want to see. And then you'll be able to just kind of eat more intuitively after that, because it's going to help you learn so much about the foods that you're consuming, like what foods contain a lot of protein, what food is going to give you a good carb source, which foods are going to have a little bit of fat, a little bit of protein. You're just going to learn so much about those foods that then you won't really have to be so strict and like tracking everything on MyFitnessPal and spending all that extra time pre-planning and everything, because then when you go into each meal, you'll be able to say, okay, this is my protein source. This is going to give me about 30 grams of protein. This is going to give me however much carbs. This is going to give me this amount of fat. And then you're just going to be able to do that throughout the day and kind of like estimate or guesstimate in your head those numbers, and still keep you on track, but allow you to be a little more flexible and not so rigid with everything that you're doing. And that's kind of how I live my life now, where I'm not super stressed about what I'm eating. I just make sure to hit my protein for the most part each day, and then I'm good. When I do though have like a very strict goal that I'm working towards, then I'll go back into counting macros again and I will be more strict. But on a day-to-day basis, like when I'm just trying to live my life and not be super stressed about the foods that I'm eating, it's really nice because I don't have to think too much about it. Like I just know what I need to grab and what's going to help me still maintain the body that I have. So then that was a little long, so hopefully you're still with me. But I feel like I always have a lot to say about that one. So that's just the biggest for me. Number 2 is walks. Going for daily walks is one of the best ways to burn some extra calories and lose that extra fat. And it's super easy on your body. It's so much better than running. But if you are not someone who like really has time to make it to the gym, but you can just go outside and go for a walk, like going for like a 30 to 45 minute walk every day is definitely going to make a huge difference, especially if that's not something that you're already doing. And then once you get to a point where you're doing those walks very consistently, you can bump it up a notch and start going for like hour-long walks every day. But I just really think that walking is underrated, and I know that it is getting more popular, so that's awesome. But if you haven't started going on walks on a daily basis, or at least like 4 to 5 times a week, I would definitely get on that, because that's a huge way to help you start burning extra calories and just seeing those results that you're looking for. So then number 3 is going to be weight training, and also making sure that you're following a program and not just winging it every day. Weight training is definitely going to change your body, and you don't need to be scared that it's going to make you super bulky and super muscular, because you have to train really, really hard to get to the level that you're probably thinking of when you see women who are very, very muscular. There are so many benefits to weight training, and one, it'll give you that very like toned look, as long as you lose the fat that is on top of those muscles. And 2, if you have more muscle on your body is going to burn more calories on a day-to-day basis, even if you're not doing anything, because muscle burn is going to help you continuously burn more calories on a day-to-day basis. So there are tons of benefits to weightlifting, but I would definitely recommend getting into it, even if it's just starting really slow and like starting out with really low weights, just focusing on form, and then building up to a point where you do feel strong and you do feel like you get to the point where it's more of a challenge just to get stronger. Like that is basically what happened to me. I wasn't super into weightlifting before. Like I had done it, but I just was never very serious about it. And then I started seeing the results and seeing how strong I could get, and it like became an addiction, and that's why I'm obsessed with the gym now. So I promise you, if you start getting into it, you're gonna love it, and it's just so much more fun than jumping around doing HIIT and like crazy interval training. And if that is something you enjoy, like the HIIT workouts, interval training, then by all means go for it. Like I definitely am all for doing the form of exercise that you love doing. And if you absolutely hate weight training, then don't do it. But I do think it's a great way, definitely one of the best ways to help you reach that like body that most women are after, which is that toned, like lean look. And then also the reason I say to follow a program is because you want to be pushing for progressive overload, and if you're switching up your workouts all the time, which I can be very guilty of this sometimes, where sometimes I just want to go in and do what I want to do, but that's not going to really help me achieve the goals that I'm looking for. And progressive overload is when you're progressively increasing your weights over time, and it's really hard to do that if you're not sticking to the same exercises. So you want to follow a program. I have a couple on my website that are just very basic, just to get you started, and you can follow for about 6 to 8 weeks, and you can track the numbers of like weights that you're lifting each week, and continue to make sure you're trying to push yourself harder and harder each week, as long as you're maintaining good form and obviously not going to a point where you're going to hurt yourself. But progressive overload is huge in helping you gain muscle. And then the fourth one is just making sure that you're finding a way to stay consistent and make it more of a lifestyle than anything else. I hit a point where after 75 hard, it was just a part of my life, and I can't imagine like ever not being consistent in the gym and not working towards bettering myself and my body. And it's just something that makes me happy. I love motivating other people to do it as well. And so I say, like, make it a goal to get to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. And then once you get to the point where you're starting to see results, I promise you, you're gonna be just as addicted as I am, and you're gonna wanna continue to go. It's super fun to see what your body can do. I just think that the more you do it, the more you're going to want to continue to do it. So those are honestly my biggest tips for you. Hopefully that's helpful. And also, if you guys are looking for any type of supplements to kickstart your fitness journey, or you're just looking for a new brand to try currently, I just started working with the company Transparent Labs, and I am obsessed with them and their products. Transparent Labs has very clean, transparent ingredients. They put everything on their labels. There's no artificial colorings, dyes, and it's just very good, clean, quality products. So I've been using their protein a lot. I love the chocolate peanut butter protein, and I'm super picky when it comes to protein. So the fact that I actually love it is crazy to me, but I'll drink it plain. It tastes like chocolate milk if you mix it with like 2% milk. I'll also drink it in the morning as the milk to my cereal. So I'll mix up 2% milk and the protein and then dump that in with my cereal, and it's just like a chocolatey milk in my cereal, and it's so good. And it gets me like 40 grams of protein to start my day, which is amazing. But I also really love their pre-workout. I only have their bulk pre-workout right now, which is pretty intense, but I'm supposed to be getting a bunch of new products when I get home, so I'll try and add those products to my next video so you guys can see those. But I take those. I take their multivitamin on a daily basis, and I'm also obsessed with their greens. And I've taken greens in the past. Well, I've tried taking them, but they were always so bad that I could not get them down. And I think the flavor that I have through Transparent Labs is a peach mango, and it actually tastes like juice. It's crazy. If you guys are looking for some new products, definitely check them out. I'll put my discount code on here so you can get 10% off. It'd be super awesome if you use it. It just helps support me, and if you do use it, you should send me a message so I can thank you, because you're the best if you try those out and use my code. I think that's it for this video. Hopefully it wasn't too terribly boring. I know, like, I really wanted to switch this up and kind of make it where I was doing each tip in a different spot and kind of throwing some other content in here, but I really just am running out of time and needed to bust this out before I start my next video. So I am back home in Michigan right now. I was here to film a wedding, and I'm gonna be here for a couple more days and then heading to East Lansing for the first Michigan State football game. So I might try and film some of that and make a little video, but we'll see what happens. So, but if you did like this video, please give it a like and comment. Let me know what you thought. Like, if you have any questions, if you need any help with anything, you can also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Hannah Walker with 2 underscores, and then my TikTok is at Hannah Christine 137. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.